Do you have a press badge? This is a closed rehearsal. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Have to.
All right, here we are at OMC in Oakland. This is Oakland Music Complex with a major staple in the underground metal and punk rock scene in the Bay Area. This is Larry Hatchet before me. And many bands prior to joining the project Mayhem AD. We'll start with that. I mean, you've been a supporter of local metal and punk for years, and proud to go to other people's shows and support. That's important, man, to keep that support going for our metal scene here. So you played for Mad at Sam for many years, and what are some other bands you played with throughout your musical career?
Mad at Sam, New Area, Three Below, Pain Factor, Robert Paulson, Closer to the Real, Highly Influenced, and I have half a dozen other bands.
It's one hell of a resume, man.
I started when I was about 13, and my first real gig was at the Omni, and I've been in the music scene for probably about 30 years, 40 years, and watched all my heroes blow up: Metallica, Violence, Machine Head, Primus.
Yeah.
A lot of the off the beaten path bands like Fungo Mungo and Psychofunkopus and
Mordred right there on your shirt.
I like a lot of different styles of music. I'm not just a metalhead. I'm not just a punk rocker. I like all kinds of music, and big supporter of the Bay Area music scene. And like I said, the Omni, the Stone, One Step Beyond, Trocadero. These were all spots that I used to frequent as a kid. I remember seeing Deftones play at Trocadero, and there was like 3 people moshing for them. No one knew who they were.
Old clubs, Berkeley Square, Omni,
Square,
all those places, man.
Yeah.
Remember Nightbreak and I-Beam?
Yep,
remember all those places? I caught the tail end of it. I moved here from Florida in '92, so I caught the tail end of it. But the Bay Area is incredible. Just so many great bands. Local bands that, like you said, blew up, and a lot of bands that are just still going and just still doing it after 30, 40 years. That's what I like about you. You're open-minded metalhead punk rocker like myself. Everything from Jane's Addiction, Faith No More, and Fishbone to, Liz Phair you saw the other night. I mean, you run deep when it comes to many different styles of music. So let's get into how his name is Robert Paulson. Kind of fell apart and then came together with a few members to build Project Mayhem AD, man. Let's hear your side of the story on that.
Well, what happened was, I had a old friend of mine, associate named Scott Kenyon, and he had posted something online about they were looking for a bass player, and I played bass in a couple projects, even though guitar is my primary instrument, or just screaming. But I reached out because I was wanting to branch out and do something. Mad at Sam wasn't really gigging too often, so I was kind of needing an outlet. And so Kenyon said, come out to Fremont and try out for this band. And first I went and saw them out at the Phoenix Theater, and that's when I first saw Ruby behind the drums, and immediately was drawn to her drum style. And then, of course, the rest of the band, Shane and Cal. And so then I went and tried out, and I got the position. And then all hell broke loose shortly after that, and Ruby left the band. And we had a fill-in drummer that we had rocking for a minute. And then Scott left the band, and he was the one that brought me to the band. So I didn't really know if I was going to stick around after Scott left. But then we got Dwayne on guitar to replace him, and we kept going for about another year or two. And then finally the band came to an end. And when it came to an end, some time had gone by, and I ran into Ruby at the Ivy Room over in Albany at a show. And I spoke to Shane, the old singer from the band, about maybe trying to put it back together. And we approached Ruby, and there was some condolences done and some patching up, and then she agreed, and so we went to Soundwave and picked up her drum set and came here to OMC, set it up, and Shane never ended up showing up. He came like one time to practice. He was too busy, and so we had this concept of Project Mayhem, being on the tail end of his name is Robert Paulson, and so we approached Dwayne. So me, Ruby, and Dwayne started trying to jam, started writing some songs, and then we started looking for a bass player, and we tried out a few guys, and then Dwayne brought Colin in, and Colin immediately started learning all the riffs that we had at the point, and then we were looking for a singer. We actually did one show before we got Todd.
With you on vocals. I saw some footage of that.
For the night to get us through the show.
I'm glad somebody caught that on camera.
Then Dwayne
Some rare
brought
footage.
Todd, and we actually tried out a few singers. Todd wasn't the first singer we tried out, but Todd had the whole package. He wasn't just vocals, he was the whole concept behind it, the writing, the networking. He brought the whole table he brought the whole package. So we took him in the studio, because we already had a little demo recorded in Oakland over at Bart's studio, House of Faith, and we added Todd on vocals tracks, and we added Colin on bass tracks, and then shortly after that, we put the little demo out, 9 songs, I believe, and the rest was history. We played our first show with Jesus Crisis for Harold O's 60th birthday.
In Concord, California for that.
Yeah, the Black Rat, a little converted storage warehouse / club, and my partner George Anderson videotaped it all and edited a couple videos for us, and that was show number 1.
George is great. He's in the band From Hell, and many years in the scene. Check him out for sure. So you're proud of this recording that you guys are selling at your shows, and got the attention of Curtain Call Records, and so that's been flowing for you guys. A lot of great shows, and that album, and working on a new record, new songs. So what about that record? Songs that stand out to you that you may have co-written and whatnot. Some of your riffs.
Well,
If Death Has a Name.
The whole demo is like, it's got qualities, it's not $1 million recording, obviously. We were really fresh with the ideas of the riffs when we recorded the demo. And of course, looking back in hindsight, it's always like, oh, we could have recorded it somewhere better, we could have produced it better, we could have did this, we should have did that. But also at the same time, it captured that rawness, it captured that immediate magic that got the ball rolling. So for what it is, I think it's a great little demo. And I'm my worst critic, so, and I try to be a modest person, so I don't like to, there's always somebody better. There's always someone that does it better, but I'm not looking to be number one. I'm looking to be entertaining. I'm looking for it to be grooving and get you off your ass to go do, some moshing or some, foot tapping or whatever you're into. So for that, I think it's great. It's great, just like Primus did at the Berkeley Square recording of Suck on This, you know what I mean? They went on to be signed by Warner Brothers and do, $1 million productions, but that original demo, whatever format it was recorded on, it was rough, but it launched them. And it has that warm sound that, to this day, I'll still go back and listen to the original Berkeley Square recording of Suck on This, because it has something captured in the magic that the big studios can't reproduce.
And in the end, it's all about strong songs anyway with them, with you guys. And, you know, going back to Todd coming in, what impressed me the most is he gave you guys this visual thing with the UV lighting and the glow paint. And, you know, that way, out of 100 metal or punk bands you play with or crossover bands, you guys have that visual element that most people don't have at all. And that's really cool. And the movie samples and dialogue, which to me adds a whole nother layer of stuff too. I thought that was great. So let's talk about the little mini tour you did up there in Oregon, Washington. You did another run when you went out to Reno, Oregon. Yeah, how was that for you? Was that the first time traveling beyond state lines like that, or?
Well, you know, that showed me that Project Mayhem AD has what it takes. That showed me that the sky's the limit with this band, because to break off, broke, no money, working, everybody working full time, make it work. You know, I've jammed in bands for 30 years, 40 years, and I've heard all kinds of crying stories about playing down the street, you know, 30 minutes away. This band loaded up, broke, went to Reno, went to Oregon, and then we got bumped off the bill for a show in Seattle. But I talked to the band and I was like, hey guys, and Ruby, ladies, can we go up to Seattle anyway, even though we don't have a show booked, and show up with puppy dog eyes and all our gear ready to go and hope that we can land a gig while we're in town? And what'd they say? Let's do it. So that right there, when we got to Seattle with no gig promised, and then all of a sudden the promoter of the show was like, since you guys are here, yes, you can play, but you'll have to headline. I knew right then that this band is serious. This band has what it takes. If you're going to drive 3 states away without even a promise of being on the bill, that showed me right there that this band will do whatever it takes to play.
That's great, man. I've been trying to find that commitment in my own band for many years and have not, so it's good to find the right mix of people. And I'm really proud of you guys that you opened for your heroes and mine, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles, DRI, recently at Goldfield in Roseville, then played a show with Green Jelly, and you got a show at the Whiskey A Go-Go with Priest, ex-members of Ghost, and ex-members of Orgy, in a band called Julie and Kay. That's great company you're in. You know, it's always good to get these headlining guys, been doing it for 20, 30 years, 40 years on the bill, you know, to get to that kind of crowd, you know, and reach that kind of crowd. So I want to get into the new songs you're working on, man. Are you feeling good about this